Welcome to the Strategic Edge, the podcast for entrepreneurs and business owners who want a competitive edge in the market. They want to be seen as the expert in their industry, and they're looking for cutting edge and innovative strategies that work across industries to help them scale their business like a boss. My name is Ann Carden, and I'm your host. Welcome to the show. What do you do when people say they cannot afford your services? If you're a coach, a consultant, or a professional service provider, do you get this? Do you get this objection over and over again? Well, I want you to know that this is a business problem that can be fixed. And that's what I want to talk about this week on this episode of the Strategic Edge podcast. So welcome back. I'm Ann Carden, and I'm your host. I want to tell you that just yesterday, in fact, I received an email from someone who had seen me on a virtual summit. I was presenting, I was a speaker on a virtual summit. And one of the things that I talked about is how most people who are good at what they do can have a high ticket offer. They could be selling their services for much more than they are. But most people don't really know how to put the value together. They don't really know how to package it up. And so they sell a lot of things low ticket. And so I talked about this in the presentation. Well, I received an email from a woman who had seen the presentation, and she said, Ann, this is what I do. I'm a trauma coach. I help people heal from abusive marriages, broken marriages. She gave me the whole scoop of what she was selling, and she said, I'm trying to sell a $28 course in my Facebook group. And I have about 300 people in my Facebook group, and somewhere in there she had 4,000 people somewhere else. And she said, and I get people that can't even afford my $28 offer. And she said, it's also a challenge because a lot of times their insurance will pay for them to get therapy and counseling. And so how do I overcome this problem? I have racked my brain after watching your presentation, and I cannot think of how to put together a high ticket offer when people can't even afford $28. So I like using this story because it's actually what inspired me to do this podcast this week. So here's the thing. It really does come down to three things in your business. If you are getting the wrong people, if you're getting broke people, if you're getting people who are not able to afford your services, there are three reasons why this happens. The first reason is they do not see the value in what you are trying to sell. So if you want to sell something higher ticket, they have to see the perceived value. It has to be a no-brainer for them. So you need a compelling and irresistible offer. Now, here's basically what I told her when I emailed her back. If people can get what you are selling through insurance, you need to change what you are selling, all right? You can't sell something that isn't going to be, there's not a market for it. So that's the first thing that you have to think about is what are you selling? How is that packaged up? The other thing is she's selling something for $28. That's not going to attract a high ticket client. I never buy into something that inexpensive or that cheap because I've learned through the years if I want to learn something, I go right to a person that can help me do it. I'm not going to go through a course. I'm not going to go through lots of modules and all of those kinds of things. And high ticket clients don't do this either. So you have to understand how high ticket clients buy. So selling a $28 course, they're never going to buy it. And I sent her back an email and I said, you probably have people right now in your audience. She had like 300 people in her Facebook group, and she had 4,000 people somewhere else. I can't remember what she said anymore, but she had people that she was already out there doing the work. She was already out there marketing and doing everything. And she said, but I can't seem to get my business to a place where I have any money, basically. And it's because of the way she's selling her services. It's because of the way she's packaged it up. Number one, she doesn't understand her ideal client if she wants to sell higher ticket. She's still marketing to the people that can barely afford a $28 course. So that's problem number one, all right? She doesn't have a compelling and irresistible offer that a higher ticket client would happily buy into or find the money for. She said a lot of people come out of marriages, they lose everything because they walk away from an abusive marriage. I understand that. And I'm not saying that it's not a little bit more of a challenge, but here's the thing. You can't tell me that all 300 of those people couldn't find a few $1,000s or $5,000 or $10,000 if what she was selling was compelling and irresistible. Is this making sense? And so, though she may not get as many people as she would with a $28 course, she would get a higher level of people. And even one client at $5,000 or $10,000 could all of a sudden now give her some money in her business that she could continue to grow her business. But when you're trying to sell something very low ticket like that, you need an awful lot of people, right? Before you ever make any kind of real money. And that's problem number one. But the other thing is she just doesn't have it packaged up in the right way. She talked about the fact that people could get what she's selling basically from insurance. They could get counseling and therapy from insurance. So think about what you're saying there. Why would you want to compete with that? So you need to create something that's different that people can't get anywhere else. That's what you need to create. That's what you need to put together in your business. And it needs to be unique to you. When people come to me for my services on how I can help them 3 to 20 times what they are charging in their business and land higher value clients, they can see the result of that. So it makes sense for them to make the investment if they're interested in that, right? And most people I can help do this in 30 to 90 days, actually even less, even a week. I've even helped people do this in a few days in their business because of what I'm going to tell you today and because of what I'm teaching you today. This is what I do with them to be able to do this. So when people say people can't afford your services, it's because they, number one, don't see the value in what you are selling. Number two, you don't understand your audience and what would make them want to buy something at a higher ticket price and who those ideal clients are. You've got to really dial that in. But the third thing is you're not marketing it right. If your marketing is bringing you broke people, then you've got to change the marketing. And there's the reason this is not easy, okay? I can give you the steps here, but it isn't easy because most people can't see this for themselves, and most people don't have the experience that I have, that I've been able to create an entire business around helping people do this. If it were this easy, everyone would do it, but not everyone can. And as a result, I've been able to, build a great, lucrative business around helping people do this. I could not do it for myself. I will tell you that. I finally did, but it took me a lot of years, and I invested a lot of money with a lot of coaches, a lot of mentors, a lot of organizations to really learn what I learned. And I really had to figure it out for myself. And it took a very long time to really dial this in. Well, in that process, of course, I learned what works, what doesn't work, and then I was able to go and duplicate my process with other people and help them have these incredible results. So for people to think it's just as simple as raise my prices, it's not. There are other moving parts. So the first thing is you've got to have a compelling and irresistible offer that people will really want, that your ideal high ticket clients will really want. So you've got to know who they are, you've got to understand them, and you've got to now market to them. So your message has to be very different. Your marketing has to change. Sometimes your ideal clients have to change. Now, I told her there are probably people sitting in your audience right now who could find the money to pay you higher ticket, but you don't have everything structured in the right way. So until you do, they're not even going to show themselves. All right, they're sitting there and they're not going to show themselves. And the reason I know this to be a fact is just recently I have a client that I started working with, and in the very first week she was doing a lot of great things and she was really great at what she did, but the way she had her services packaged up, people didn't really see the value, and so she wasn't getting those high ticket clients. And so again, her messaging and everything, she was attracting people who she said didn't have money, and that was one of the problems she was having. But she had an audience, she had people following her, she had people that were loving what she was doing, but those high ticket clients were already sitting in her audience because somewhere she connected with them and somewhere they liked what she was talking about, but they weren't buying from her. And they weren't buying from her because she was still selling to the wrong people, and what she was offering was marketing, really something that the wrong people were wanting. And so in the first session, we changed all of this. I really extrapolated the value that she had. We repackaged it. We restructured it. We put a new message behind it. We literally did this in a very, very short amount of time. And in the first week, she closed a $7,500 cash client. Now, this week, in fact, right before our call, she closed another one. So within about a 3-week period, she's put $15,000 cash into her pocket. Now, she's not a business coach, okay? So a lot of people would say, well, you know, I'm a life coach. I'm a whatever. She's not a business coach. She's a mindset coach. And she was able to do this. And she's just getting started. Like, this is just the beginning of her offer. She really has even more opportunity than this. But it really came down to what she was selling, how she was selling it, and how she was marketing it. Now, once we started getting the right people booking on her calendar, we had to tweak her sales process on top of it, because closing high-ticket clients is a very different process than closing a low-ticket client. And so there are really the three things. Your offer has to be dialed in and be very compelling and irresistible to your perfect ideal clients. It has to be something that they really want. It has to be a no-brainer for them. It has to be something where they will find the money or they have the money. And so all of this has to be done first. The second piece of this is you've got to have the right message, the right marketing, the right positioning. This is the outside perception people have of you in your business and what you do and why you're the best and why you're credible. All of that is your positioning. It's a piece of your marketing. It supports your business. But then you've also got your outside message, your content, the things that you're actually doing to bring people into your world. So if this is off, you're going to bring the wrong people into your world. Now, that doesn't mean that there still aren't some people out there sitting that if you change everything, they would like rear their heads and they would be like, I'm interested in working with you, because it happens over and over and over again with my clients. It's just they're not getting those people because of how they're marketing and what they're selling. And so those people are not showing themselves, basically. They're not self-identifying, okay? When you get those things dialed in the right way, now you've got to tweak your sales process so that you can easily close them. And there's a strategy to this. There's kind of a few secrets there that can help you close clients much faster. But will you always get clients that can afford you? No, right? There are going to be some clients that don't know what you charge, and so they may get on a call with you because they want to work with you and they're not sure if they can find the money and they're not sure if they can afford your services, and so they'll get on a call with you to see. However, if you are a high-ticket coach, a high-ticket consultant, or professional service provider, this does need to come out in your marketing. It does need to be something that you're very clear about, something that you're very upfront about. And one of the things that when you know you're doing the right job in your marketing is when people come to you and they say, I know you're high ticket. I'm not sure if I can afford you, but I definitely know you're the person that can help me. So when you get people like that on a call, you know your marketing is doing the job. So outside of just telling people what the price is, if you want to do that, you can. But outside of just telling people what the price is, you will get some people along the way that maybe are hoping that they can afford you or they can find the money, right? So it really comes down to your offer. Do you have something compelling and irresistible that those higher ticket clients want and will buy? How are you different? What makes your process different? Why would people buy from you over, say, getting insurance, counseling? And again, I'm talking kind of to life coaches, but it doesn't matter what type of a coach or a consultant you are. These same fundamental rules apply if you're trying to get higher ticket clients. The second thing is, your marketing, your positioning, your marketing message, your content, everything that you're putting out there. If it's not speaking to those higher value clients, you're going to get the wrong people coming to you. Most people really have this off. And because it's really easy to market to broke people. It's really easy to market to people who have no money because they're all over the place, right? The key is to pull in the right people. And then the third thing is your sales process. Dial this in, get this really streamlined so that when you are are in a sales conversation, people can clearly see the value that you provide. Hopefully you've pre-nurtured them before they got on a sales call, so they're really familiar with you and what you do. And then from there, you can close that sale. Or if it's not the right timing for them, no worries. You send them away, you stay in touch, you keep staying in front of them until maybe there is a time when, okay, now they're ready to work with you. So I hope this is helpful for you. You can fix your process if you're good at what you do and you want to bring in higher ticket clients. So I hope this helped you this week, and I can't wait to talk to you in the next episode of the Strategic Edge podcast. Make sure that you subscribe to the podcast and hit the notification so that you never miss an episode that's released every single Wednesday. And also, if you need any help in your business to bring in higher value clients for 3 to 20 times more in the next 30 to 90 days, and you're great at what you do, and you have the financial resources to invest in my services, then you can go to acarden.com and book on my calendar. Let's have a conversation. No high pressure. If you're not the right fit for my services, then I don't even take you on as a client. So if I don't really believe that I can get you fast results or get you the results that you're looking for, you won't even become a client of mine. So no high pressure. Book a call if you need some help. acarden.com. That's my scheduler. It will then take you to a form to fill out that breaks down more information for me so that I can see what you're doing in your business and if I can help you. And then we'll have a conversation and go from there and see if it's a fit. Thank you so much for listening. I'll talk to you next week. Bye-bye.